Hi, everyone, and welcome to another session of real estate in answering questions in the most simple way. Today's topic is about real estate fraud being on the rise. And it has been for a while, but with the digital era, you could imagine it's even worse. But most important, we're going to talk about how do we protect ourselves. Well, buying and selling a home or a property is and will be one of the biggest investments most people will make in their lives. With that comes excitement, stressful moments, and unfortunately, it also comes with the major opportunity for being a target for potential fraud. Scammers have learned very well that the digital era has increased the opportunity for them to attack in those particular moments. They know that real estate transactions involve large sums of money, very tight timelines, opportunity in those moments where there's a lot of communication among many parties, information being reviewed at the same time, and in some moments the parties involved may lose awareness. They know exactly when to attack, and they have gotten very good at blending in those moments. But the good news is that with awareness and a few simple precautions, you and me can protect ourselves from becoming just another victim. So today we're going to walk you through most of the common types in real estate fraud that we are seeing, that have seen and continue to see. But most important, we're going to talk about how we can protect ourselves from becoming another victim. So with that, let's get started. Well, the first question that we're going to tackle today is why real estate fraud is increasing. The simple answer to that is real estate fraud has been on the rise for some time, and it continues to be. And it's because transactions are increasingly digital. That's it. I mean, that's part of the digital era. We rely lots on email, electronic signatures, wire transfers, and more. And while the technology is great, makes us productive, do things faster, guess what? It also comes with great opportunity for criminals to attack. They know how to do it, they do it well, and we have to be very careful. Scammers no longer need to break into banks. They just need to break into inboxes and email. And guess what happens when they do so? Now they have access to conversation, the language being used, and the people involved in the transactions. And at the right time, at the right moment, they can send that message that looks completely legitimate to create harm. So we need to be aware, protect ourselves. And on a side note, for those who haven't learned about cybersecurity protection, I would encourage you to do so. It will prevent you being a potential victim or fraud. The next topic that we're going to cover today is about common types of real estate fraud. Guess which one runs first? Yes, wire fraud. Wire fraud indeed is the most common and the most dangerous type of fraud in real estate. It basically happens when criminals hack into email accounts, whether it's of buyers or sellers or any type of real estate professionals, including title companies sometimes, and they have access to the information to be able to send fake wire instructions that look real. And if you follow those instructions and you send that money to the wrong account, guess what? It is extremely difficult, for not saying impossible, to recover those funds. This is why wiring instructions should always, let me say this again, should always raise red flags and trigger extra verification steps. Anybody that does not have an extra verification step when requesting wires, you should question it. You should have the opportunity to stop and ask before a major mistake could be made. Think about it and protect yourself. The next type of fraud is title fraud. Yes, title fraud is less common indeed, but incredibly serious. Why? Well, in this case, the scammers would forge documents to make it look like they own a property, a real estate property that may belong to you. And with that, what can they do once they do that? Well, They may try to sell it or even take out a loan against it without your consent, without your knowledge. It happens, and we need to be aware. And guess what? Many times owners don't find out until significant damage has been done. And by that time, it's too late. So please be aware. If you have more specific questions, please feel free to put it on the comments, and we'll be happy to address them. The next type of fraud, I would say, is rental scams. Yes, many of them. Rental scams are specifically common in competitive markets, and there's many of them throughout the United States. In this particular case, fraudsters would basically post a fake rental listing using photos of real estate properties, right? They would collect deposits of whether it's the first month rent, from multiple people, I would say, and then go missing in action. They basically simply disappear. So the rule of thumb, to keep it simple, is that if the deal seems too good to be true, okay, or if someone is pressuring you to send money quickly, that is usually a warning sign for a potential rental scam. You should pause, question it, and protect yourself. Let's talk about phishing scams. Even the word phishing should probably say a little bit about what I'm about to say, but let's talk about it. Phishing scams involve emails or texts that may appear to come from legitimate sources, such as real estate agents, title agents, lenders, and members of those sort of formal institutions. They may ask in their sensitive information like bank account numbers and key passwords or social security numbers, basically private information that should never be asked through those sources. Legitimate professionals, I will tell you, will never ask for information through unsecure email or text. It's just a big no-no. So if you ever receive anything suspicious requesting that type of sensitive information, I would ask you to immediately contact your real estate agent or title agent, and do not reply to that email at all. This is for your own safety and protection. Now let's talk about something important. How do we protect ourselves from these messy frauds that are out there? Well, number one, always verify any type of wiring instructions. So if you ever receive wiring instructions from anyone by email or text, the first thing is to stop, okay, and verify, all right? Do not send any funds or money until you have fully verified those wiring instructions. That can be done by calling your title agent or your real estate agent using basically trusted phone numbers. And by that also means do not use phone numbers that may have been in those email exchanges. Why? Because remember that scammers from time to time may break into those email boxes, so we need to avoid using those phone numbers. And last on this, that any reliable title company will have a very strong process in verifying wiring instruction. Yes, they have to have that. And they will never pressure you to rush any type of funds without having gone through a thorough verification process. This is for your own protection, for your own safety, and to avoid major complications on funds exchanges. So please follow those. Let's talk a little bit about monitoring your property records. What does that mean? Is for you to consider periodically checking the property records with your county property appraiser or the recorder's office to basically confirm that the ownership is still correct. That means the title of the property is still the same and that nobody has attempted to change it. I will tell you that there are many counties that offer a free alert system that automatically notifies you when somebody attempts to change the property records. And that is very important to know. And if that's available in your area where you live, I would highly encourage you to sign up. It's a great safety feature. It's for your own protection, so I encourage you to do so. I'll tell you something that may sound like a given or no-brainer, but I will point it out anyways because it's important. And that is to work with trustworthy real estate professionals. What do I mean by that? Is to be selective in working with licensed real estate agents and lenders and title companies that have a strong reputation and credibility, not just experience, but they can really be trusted with this type of transactions. Real estate professionals or title companies that use highly secure communication systems and verification protocols, I will tell you that are much less vulnerable to cybercrime, and that is really important. You know, there's people out there that are really savvy, and we have to make sure that we have the right systems and protocol in place to protect our clients, and that's something that I would highly recommend to anyone. Let's close with some final thoughts on this particular session. You know, real estate fraud, it has been and will continue to be a growing problem for the reasons that I shared. But you don't have to be an easy target, right? By staying alert, verifying instructions, protecting your personal information, and working with trustworthy professionals, you can really keep your investment safe. At New Door Title, I would tell you, fraud prevention, it is something that we take highly seriously. And every instruction in terms of wires is fully verified with our resources, our clients directly. And we use highly secure processes to protect every single transaction. You know, whether you are buying or selling or simply just monitoring your home's title, our team is here to guide you and help you along the way. That's what we do. We're here to serve. So if you find this beneficial to you or to others, please subscribe, press like, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks.